Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your host. Aaron will be with us later. He's working on a Kindle app at the moment, learning about it, so he's getting prepared to give us our cigar reviews or cigar terminology later. This book review is called Wet Flies: Tying and Fishing Soft-Hackled Wing and Wingless Wets and Fuzzy Nymphs by Dave Hughes. Now, this book is very good, but it isn't very good. I mean, it's printed in America, higher in Canada, and it costs $36. Is it worth it? Yes and no. It depends on what you're looking for. This one here basically says, when fly fishing is your hobby, your passion, and your career, as it's with Dave, blah, 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 Dave Hughes. Now, Dave Hughes makes some pretty dang good books. No offense to him, but this one I found was, basically was more about fly tying than anything, you know. Yeah, I mean, it didn't have anything well worthwhile, you know, and it just talks about the flies, the size of flies, the tippets, you know, fine 1 or 2x tippet, stout, etc. And you get into the thing, and you know, does have some discussion like fishing small creeks. The problem is with it is small creeks is fine and dandy, but this one is more about wet flies. Now, frankly, in my opinion, I didn't like it. All right, it's another book of, well, if you know, I mean, it's like this one. This one here is this one about matching the hatches. You know, it's got some goodness and some badness. This one here tells what fish eat, but again, the thing is different. Oh, I forgot to read you the contents because I'm trying to speed this up so I don't bore you all with the book reviews. Contents. Part 1, Subsurface Success. Subsurface fly and natural insects. Looking into literature. How it happened in America. Chapter 4, Soft Hackles, Flimps, Winged Wets, and Fuzzy Nymphs. Part 2, Tying Effective Subculture Flies. Part 3, Subsurface Methods. Oh, Part 2 is Tying Soft Hackle Flies. Chapter 6, Flying Wingless Wet Flimps. Chapter 7, Flying Traditional Winged Wets. And Chapter 8 is Tying Fuzzy Nymphs. Now, Chapter 9 is Tackle for Fishing Subsurface Fly. Chapter 10 is Fishing the Surface and just below it. Chapter 11 is Method of the Mid-Depths. Chapter 12, Foremen and their Methods. Chapter 13, Fishing Small Creeks with Subsurface Flies. Part 4, The Subsurface Fly and the Natural Insect. Stages of the mayfly. Emergence of the egg-laying activities of the caddies. Subsurface Secrets of Stoneflies. Chapter 16. Chapter 17, Matching Midges, Alders, and Others. Conclusion, Arriving at Your Own Patterns and Biographies. Now, the guy's got some really good books, but in my opinion, the book is very expensive. Now, the library brought this in for me, and I found it to be not interesting to read, let alone, you know. I mean, you'll learn something in it, but you won't learn much from it. When you've read over 60 fishing books, you sit there and you say, oh, this one's mostly about fly tying. So, out of my thingy, out of 5 stars, I give it 3. Because I find miniature books like this greatly. Oh, that's a different one. The Vest Guide to Caddy Flies. For example, something like this is more unique, in my opinion, than going through a different book, or this one. Trout Streams Insects, an Orvis Streamside Guide. It's part of my wish list. Why? One, it's Orvis. I don't endorse Orvis. I find Orvis to be a good company from the 1850s, 1856. And I found books like this are really good. And I just want to say he's done a real good job writing. But in my opinion, there's better books out there that's smaller, compactor. I mean, this is one of those hardbound or softbound books you just put on your bookshelf. Under the 10 rating, I give it about a 5. So it's not that great, but it's not that worse either. I've read worse books. So When I say get it, I say borrow it from the library so you don't have to pay the $35.95, or try to borrow or try to get it cheaper if you have to have this book from Amazon or Barnes & Noble or eBay. That said, everyone, thank you for watching this review. Please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments in the box if you like. And please add me as a friend if you like. Thank you, and may God bless the world.